So my bad. Let me do the introduction again. A really good afternoon to all of you in Hawaii. It's the 3 p.m. hour. Good morning to all of you in Indonesia, in Philippines, in Singapore, all around the world. Good morning to you, and in Australia. Thank you so much for joining us. And this really, really warms my heart because this was just an idea we dreamt up. Thank you for taking time off your very hectic schedules and for waking up early, some of you, to join Future Skills 101. This is a grassroots, community-led platform. It's going to be led by you to empower communities of need in developing countries impacted by the pandemic. Now, Future Skills 101 seeks to develop resilient communities by providing free to low-cost education, open source innovative resources, as well as current thought leadership from industry players, change makers, and altruistic individuals like yourselves who believe in contributing to a greater good. A very good morning again, or a good evening and good night wherever you are. My name is Loretta Chen, and I am part of the team that helped to create Future Skills 101. Now, our webinar today will be no more than 90 minutes long. And for those of you who wish to remain in the Zoom room to discuss ideas, please remain after our closing remarks. And also, please feel free to submit any questions or comments that you have during the presentation in the chat or at the end of the presentation where we will have a Q&A. And this Q&A is slightly different in that aside from you asking us questions, we actually want to pick on your brains and ask you questions because we want to know what you want to see from this community platform. Please, also please note that all your pets are highly encouraged to join us, right? Completely inclusive. I have 9 kitty kids, and so they'll be roaming around. They'll come say hi. And please BYOB, which is, I brought my own boba. I don't know if you can see, but if you want to bring a bottle, hey, go for it, okay? Alrighty. Okay. Now for a quick icebreaker. Let me see. Everyone here, very cool. I'm just gonna ask some of you to mute your mics if you can, because there's a lot of background noise. But we're gonna play a quick warm-up game. Okay, I promise you. It's not gonna be too cheesy. All right. So, has anyone here, hands up, anyone here played a variation of blow, wind, blow? If you can turn on, oh, actually, at this point, if you could turn on your cameras, that would be great. So I'm just gonna repeat that. If you can't turn off your mics, but turn on your camera, that would be great. If you can all turn on your camera. Don't worry, we're not gonna laugh at your bit hair. We're not gonna laugh at you, your PJs. I mean, hey, it's a Zoom room, okay? Yola Joseph, turn on the damn camera.
I wanted to say that you guys look absolutely amazing as I'm taking pictures. So please turn on the camera to see all the beautiful faces. Everybody from of life and from different parts of the world. It's just nice.
Turn on your camera for a bit, especially if you can. If you're driving, I understand, but otherwise, okay. Bit hit, completely okay. No problem. You can just scroll the page. Wow, you're good. So many of you here, if you could just turn on your cameras, that'd be great because we need to see you in order to play this little game, okay? All right. Now we're all ready? We're all set? Okay, so who has played a variation of blow, wind, blow? Hands up so I can see you. Who's played a variation of blow, wind, blow? Okay, Annalisa has played a variation of Shirley Daniel. Shirley Daniel, oh, come on. You never played blow, wind, blow? Shirley Daniel. Shirley Daniel is an esteemed professor. Okay, I'm so blessed that she's my friend, but esteemed professor in UH Hawaii. Okay, anyone else? Blow and blow. You guys play blow and blow? No? All right. Can I have you guys turn on your camera just for a little bit? I just need you to participate in this little icebreaker called blow and blow. Yeah, just come on. It's okay. Bedhead is completely okay. Completely okay. All right. So now, I'm gonna call out where the wind blows, okay? If the wind blows in your direction and you answer affirmatively to that, you're gonna put your face as close to the camera as possible, okay? Yeah, all right? And if the wind doesn't blow in your direction, you're gonna move away from the camera, okay? This is also a great wake-up game. for your other Zoom meetings, right? Everyone knows our 8 a.m. Zoom meeting. Okay, so we're going to do a little trial run, okay? A little practice, and it will get a little faster. Okay. The wind blows to, and so if you are in this particular place and the wind blows your direction, zoom in, and if you're not, zoom out. The wind blows to people who are in Singapore.
Me.
All right, back on.
Face.
All the big faces. All right. This is where we take photos and then we'll blackmail you later. No. All right. The wind blows to people who are in Hawaii. You got us all our faces.
Yeah, all the foreheads and the eyes.
The wind blows to people who are in the Philippines. Hey,
All
right, wind blows to people who are anywhere else.
I don't know what to do.
Yula, I just see your forehead. All right. The wind blows to people who have siblings. All right, good. Wind blows to people who are not wearing shoes. Come on. We know it's a Zoom meeting. Nobody's wearing shoes anymore. Come on. Admit it. Admit it. Good job, people. Honesty is key. Honesty is key. And the wind blows to people who are excited to get this Future Skills 101 party started. Woo! All right. All right. Very good morning, people. Woo, that was fun. That kind of woke me up a little bit. Woo. Okay.
Good morning, Loretta.
Good morning. Good morning, David. It's wonderful to see you. Wonderful to see you.
Yeah.
At this point, can I just ask all of you to please ensure that your microphones are turned off? And of course, a big tractor just drove up outside of my house. One of those things. Could you please ensure that all your microphones are turned off? And also, please leave your names on the screen if you can, so we can always have a conversation. All right. So now, let's get this party started.
I don't know why this mic ball keeps.
Okay, so a warm welcome again. Now I'm getting warm from our little warm up, and thank you for joining us in Future Skills 101. We thought what we'll do today is just to share our ideas on why we started on this project. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that a team of us came together and realized that the pandemic has brought about crisis all around the world, but in particular for most of us as educators and advocates, we know that education is in crisis and that we're all facing this digital divide. So let's start at the beginning, which I think is a very good place to start. For those of you who know The Sound of Music, I shall not attempt to sing. I know Shirley's a good singer though. I shall recruit her to perhaps conduct a singing class and a counting class. But let's start at the very beginning. One of the reasons why I'm such a passionate advocate about education is once upon a time, I was 24, 2 years ago. I was very devastated because my partner had committed suicide. It was a combination of a variety of things, childhood trauma, stigma, bullying, social inequities. And I saw that my partner had struggled and eventually took her own life. And I was only 24 and I struggled to try to make sense of the tragedy that just happened to me. And I was also very young then, and friends of my age were trying to get ahead in their careers, right? They weren't stopping to try to answer my questions. And so I decided that I had to figure this out, and I went on my metaphorical journey. And one of the places that I went to was Cambodia. And there I volunteered with sex traffic workers from the ages of 8 to 18. And on one occasion, and this is always stuck in my head, I think Jason has heard the story before I shared with the PAC students, that I asked these girls with the help of a Khmer interpreter. And I said, okay, girls, so what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to be when you grow up? Can I just have a couple of responses? Anyone here? Imagine you're 8 to 18 years old, some of them are younger, you've been sexually trafficked, made to do the most hideous things. And here is this foreigner from overseas asking you about your dreams. What do you want to be when you grow up? Anyone? What do you want to be when you grow up? Anyone? Just unmute your mics and tell me. You're a sex traffic worker, 8 to 18 years old. I'm asking, what do you want to be when you grow up? Anyone at all? And Elisa? Oh, sorry, I heard someone.
You want to be safe.
You want to be safe. Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else aside from being safe? Anyone else? Maybe 2 more responses. Anyone else?
That.
You want to be what? Sorry?
You will ask, what is that? Doesn't understand.
Right, right. What is that? Yes, right. And one more response. Anyone? Say that again, dear.
Free.
You want to be free. Right. To be safe. What is safety?
I want to be free from suffering.
I want to be free from suffering. All right. And I have to just ask you to mute your mics. All your answers are amazing and heartfelt. But this is what the girls told me, that they want to save the world. So all I ask is to take in that statement for a while, let it sink in for a while. I've told this story for 24 years and I retell it again, and each time it brings tears to my eyes. You're 8 to 18 years old. Some of you are younger, sexually trafficked, beaten, abused, raped. And I ask you what you want to be, and you say you want to make the world better. Take that in for a second. So at that moment, I realized that my 24-year-old self had an epiphany. That my 24-year-old self was feeling beaten and down and abused and downtrodden. And I thought I was there to save them, but really they saved me. Because they made me realize that they had the audacity of hope to dare to dream of a better world. And at that moment, my 24-year-old self, just 2 years ago, made a pact with myself that I was never going to make myself feel inferior again. Because nobody can make me feel inferior without my consent. And that I began to tell myself that my ability to choose is built on the backs of millions of boys and girls and men and women who may never get the ability to choose. And I began to see my right to choose as a privilege. And I told myself that if I was going to make a choice, that I would always be responsible for my actions. And this is not to say that I don't make mistakes. I F up every day, but I would take accountability for my choices, because that ability to choose is already a privilege. And I bore that lesson with me for all 2 years of my life after. And I dedicated my life to a life of service leadership, education, advocacy, and empowerment. And through my travels, I have been so blessed to have been able to go to Japan and Singapore, where I'm originally from, Philippines, working with students in the coast of Waianae, predominantly native Hawaiian students, or way up in the Himalayan mountains. I realized that whether from mountains or oceans, most of these youths and children and adults really just want one thing. They want to feel heard. They want to be engaged. They want to be educated. And they want to be empowered. And so that was the premise for why I felt so passionately about wanting to start FS101. But here's another reason, and let me just show you this short video. Okay, you guys saw that? So let me get back on my earphones again. So yeah, the other reason why we want to start FS101 is obviously the ubiquity of technology, right? Again, show of hands, does any one of you like recognize any of the things we saw on those tables? Yeah? Okay. Well, come on, you guys recognize it. Don't pretend you don't recognize it. But yeah, but some of us students don't recognize some of those items on the table, right? So we knew that it was a good time for us to launch FS101. But really the key reason, as we all know, and let's just address the elephant in the room, is that we're living in VUCA times. And VUCA is a term that originated with the US Army War College to describe conditions resulting from the Cold War. The acronym, as you can see on your screens, stands for volatility, or the accelerating rate of change, uncertainty, or the lack of predictability, complexity, or the interconnectedness of cause and effect forces, and ambiguity, the strong potential for miscommunication and misreads. And these combinations of qualities characterize the nature of very difficult situations and conditions, perhaps now best exemplified by this world that we live in. And again, here's just a quick little video while I admit more people into the room. All right. So with that said, I mean, if anyone ever had any confusion on what VUCA meant, I remember giving a speech at the start of the year at a keynote, and I had to explain what VUCA was. If there was ever any lack of clarity on what it is, I think we're living it now. COVID-19 has plunged the world into VUCA. It's foregrounded social divides, lack of fairness, absence of cooperation, failure of global governance and leadership. It's also exacerbated systemic changes, retreat from globalism, a rise of nationalism, a fear of immigration, decoupling of US and China, fear of heightened surveillance. There's also the growing appeal of well-being policies, or what I call from ego to ecosystem. You know, Jeremy will talk about this later, but in 2 weeks, please join us for another panel, because we have the Minister of Education from Bhutan joining us to talk specifically on these issues as well. We also see the rise of tech and online presence, acceleration of automation. And given all this, some people may say that COVID-19 is a black swan event. I, however, disagree, and I think that's a white swan event, because what it has done is that it's just foregrounded all the things we already knew. What is a black swan event is going to be all the repercussions that we can't quite tell just yet. So here we are as a community, we are able to all play a part and try to do something. The other reason why we decided to form this platform is because of an idea I had that not only are we living literally in different time zones, we're also experiencing what I call different time zones and different velocities. By that, I mean that the pandemic itself moves at extreme velocity. We see it every day. I mean, Beulah probably is in huge agreement because of the numbers that are rising in Victoria. However, we also recognize that governments take a much longer time to react, to consider all constituents. I mean, it's politics. Now, voters and citizens, however, want immediate answers. They want immediate answers and they want immediate solutions. And all of this adds and exacerbates this notion of VUCA. And that's why it's also confusing, this world that we're living in. And so how do we come in? That the digital divide is preventing communities from gaining access to education and world connectivity. With COVID-19, there'll be a dearth of volunteer faculty. I mean, I used to travel and backpack and go to remote villages to serve underserved communities. And I imagine if I'm stopping to do that because I'm unable to do that, I multiply that by 10 other faculty and like-minded people who do that. I multiply that by another 100 and another 1,000 and tens of thousands around the world. And so I think that our traditionally underserved communities are now even more underserved. So what I hope we can all do is to see if we can all play our part in Future Skills 101, which is a grassroots, community-led, you-led platform and tool to link altruistic industry and educational professionals to help students as well as early career professionals in developing communities to stay connected in these turbulent times. Community helping communities in a VUCA world in different time zones, both literally and metaphorically. Finally, before I hand it over to my colleagues, I just wanted to leave you a quote by diplomat and educator Kishore Mahbubani from Singapore. Now, there are 7 billion people who inhabit planet Earth. These 7 billion people no longer live in more than 100 separate boats or countries. Instead, they all live in 193 separate cabins on the same boat. Now, this was what he said 10 years ago. Now, 10 years on, he says this: if we 7.5 billion people are now stuck together on a virus-infected cruise ship, does it make sense to clean and scrub only our personal cabins while ignoring the corridors and airwells outside through which the virus travels? Well, the answer is clearly no. But this is what we've all been doing. And since we're all now in the same boat, humanity has to take care of the global boat as a whole.
Sorry, Uncle, I'm trying to
So I hope we all don't miss the boat, but try to come together as a community, because we really are only as strong as our weakest link. And let's come together. And since we're in Hawaii, well, some of us in Hawaii, let's all come together and think blue ocean strategies to see how we can create opportunity in adversity. Over to you, Eunice.
Thank you, Loretta, and good morning to everyone, especially to the people joining us from the Philippines. To put into perspective how Future Skills 101 came into reality is to take you all to the vantage point of entrepreneurship education and to revisit our understanding of how it is to have an entrepreneurial mindset. Next slide, please. Having an entrepreneurial mindset is having a mindset to start a business and become an entrepreneur. I'm sure the entrepreneur educators in the audience this morning understand that. To have the entrepreneurial mindset is to possess skills: creativity, curiosity and control, reception and regard for self, ardor and affirmation, foresight and flexibility, and of thoroughness and integrity. Yet all of these skills, and perhaps even more, are only used in order to identify and maximize opportunities, challenges, in order to take positive. Again, opportunities over challenges to make a positive action. More practically, next slide please, I identified here, next slide please, what I consider as the 3 ingredients to make positive action. First is influence. I believe that you can take action more efficiently in the area where you have gained a good amount of influence. In what area are you known for? Athletes do sports, chef cook, educators need to educate. Second is impact. With all the problems of the world, we can only dare to choose our battle, right? And so using laser-focused vision with our awareness of present-day reality, foresight for what is sustainable, we chose to have a single-minded pursuit for quality education for all. And the third is inputs. While we may desire to do so much as individuals, we can only go far when we are able to find people with with whom we share the same values and passion, to work together for a common good. What are needed are people who can generously share their time, their talent, their network as individuals with a sense of urgency, because the world and all its problems will not wait for us. And so allow me to introduce to you the pioneers of Future Skills 101. Next slide, please. The second picture is Loretta, the one talking a while ago, is our creative visionary, is a professor, an author, a mentor, a cat mom because she has 8 biological kitty kids and 2 foster kids, powered by compassion, humor, and grit. Our second member in the team is Ron, the third one in this picture. Ronho is our marketing genius who ensures that we look our best with her attention to detail, design, and time management. Fourth, the youngest, is Wei Han, is our chief architect who designed the learning management platform for Future Skills 101 and keeps our digital engine running while being an auditor by day. And of course, Jeremy is our communications maverick, who by day is a corporate executive in a multinational company, a champion of inclusion and diversity, and sometimes an online mixologist. And of course, I'm Eunice. I'm a lifelong learner, an educator, very passionate about service leadership, social enterprise, education, and humbled to be with the global community to create common good for our marginalized or our underserved communities. How we got together is a story entirely good for one webinar. Suffice to say that it started out with just 2, obviously Loretta and myself, and then we became 3 with Ron, and then 4, and then 5. However, we got together and how different we all are, we are staunchly common in our passion for this initiative. Our mission is to make education accessible, equitable, and engaging to communities of need. And we are guided by our values of innovation and creativity, professionalism, kinship and community, grit and optimism, and of course, compassion and care. Future Skills aims to provide low-cost education, career, and life skills, to reach out to developing countries and communities of need, to promote employability and career advancement, to provide employment opportunities to local teaching community, to create continuous feedback and a loop between employers, workforce, and other platforms, and bridge between offline social workers, educators, and communities. We have mapped out our initiatives for what remains of the year 2020 onwards to our sustainable social mission, which are as follows: to equip early mid-career workforce with relevant skills to stay competitive, to support industry training and help SMEs to upskill their local workforce, provide personal development and training to youth and women, to train retrenched workers, to help communities of need to learn new skills and stay employable, to help non-government organizations with their outreach and training, to help SMEs and companies in upskilling their workforce, projects to help the LGBTQIA, women, youth, and lifelong learners. Our demographics in rolling out this online education platform would include higher education, mid-career professionals, youth and adults, communities of need, members of various communities who are needing our help, especially those in halfway homes, people of diversity and color, and of course, adult and lifelong learners. Ultimately, our answer to the question, how are we going to do this? It's all about our hope-filled navigation on the waters of crisis and opportunity, using our roles of skillful management, generosity, and inclusivity, guided by a passion and purpose, no matter how different our goals may be. In the end, future skills dream to see the same hope planted in each one of us, in each one of you in this webinar. A hope, a kind of hope that according to St. Augustine of Hippo, a doctor of the church, has said to be having two beautiful daughters. Their names are anger and courage. Anger at the way things are, and courage to see that things do not remain the way they are. Thank you, and I will now pass you over to Jeremy.
Sorry, I was trying to unmute myself. Okay. Okay, hi guys.
Ayun.
So,
Yung 500 na binayaran mo.
hey.
Patapos na.
If I could just, sorry about that. Can I just a gentle reminder?
Yung mamayang hapon yung
If you could
delikado,
all
medyo mas mahal yung bayad
please
ko.
mute your mics. I'm going to go around and I'll try and mute people's mics as I go around. I know we're all multitasking, but thank you all for being here. Go ahead, please, Jeremy.
All right. Okay, hi guys. So very good morning. Well, from Singapore at least. So thanks for waking up early. And I know it's Saturday morning is a great time, right, to kind of laze in bed. So we really appreciate you being here. So thank you for giving us the time. So as a start, I'm just gonna do a quick introduction. My name is Jeremy, as Loretta and Eunice have mentioned, and they basically kind of wrote me into a project. I'm really so happy to be in this, and let me tell you why. I work in MNC, in global MNC. Actually, I work in Lego, and I've been covering the region. So basically, I've been involved in the Philippines, and in fact, before the pandemic, I was visiting the Philippines every month. So I've been there every month for my work, and I fly there really, really often. So why start? I really believe in giving back to the market that I work in. I really believe that having been to the region, having been exposed to the region, I see how really important it is to get access to quality education in order to upgrade and improve yourselves, right? And I think in Singapore, we often take it for granted that good training and courses are easily available, but I realize it's not always the case in developing countries. So why is it important for me? So for those of you who know Chinese, this is they call it a chengyu, right? So it's like a proverbial saying, an idiom. It says 饮水思源. So basically what it means is, as you drink from the spring waters, you remember its source. So let you think about that, right? As you drink from the spring waters, you remember its source. So I think it's a Chinese saying, which is beautiful, because it's a beautiful reminder that I'm in the same ecosystem. So I come full back to the community that I benefit from and that I work in. So it's especially meaningful for me to know that we are starting in the Philippines, because this is where I work, right? This is where I work, this is where I contribute, and I find great meaning to be able to come back to this community. So what we're really doing here, for one, we really want to help those who really need this to gain access to quality education. And again, like what I say, it's not always easily available to many of us. Secondly, we really want to help people out there to stay relevant in the VUCA world. This world has changed so much. 2019 to 2020, we don't recognize the world anymore, and we're constantly challenged by how we are reacting to this world and all the changes that are coming through, bombarded by news. So how do we stay relevant in a world that is so volatile and uncertain? And we want to be there to help you stay relevant in this world. Last but not least, we really want to help you and want to help the people coming onto our platform move up in social mobility. Now, education is a powerful tool to move us up in social mobility. It's a powerful tool to help us stay relevant and engaged in this world that we live in. So our signature courses that we are going to cover, and no surprise, these are the courses that we're covering, because this really comes from our heart. It's a starting point. Starting point is something that we hold dear to our heart. Starting point is something that we come from our areas of expertise, really. So we'll start with our signature courses like leadership and entrepreneurship, human leadership, life skills, diversity and inclusion, which I'm personally extremely passionate about, communication skills, creative skills. So these are the things that we really want to reach out, right? And this is a beautiful content that we want to bring out to the people out there, the communities out there as a start. And these are the topics that we really, really believe in. And of course, at the same time, we also welcome more content to our platform. But these are certainly things that we really want to start with and we truly are passionate about. So our USP, now you will note that a typical marketing textbook, USP stands for unique selling point, right? So we have renamed it as unique sharing point because really we're not selling you anything, but we really want to share our platform with you and we want you to be a part of our journey and our platform. So what are we sharing with you here? First of all, personalized learning. So learning on demand, learning on your schedule according to your own time. I mean, and this is extremely popular these days. A lot of us learn at our own timing. We learn in bite-sized information. We learn when we're able to, right? Rather than sit down and lecture, we are consuming information as we go along. Now, we're experienced faculty here, and I think you guys can tell with our network, and I think with Loretta's, I would say friends, right? I think a lot of our friends are also on board with us to share their knowledge, to share their experience, and to really share their content. So I think experienced faculty is really, really important to provide quality education. We also, at some point in time, going to provide a private coaching and mentoring. And we realize that giving personal access to this is very, very important in terms of guidance, in terms of helping to shape your journey, to shape your next steps, to shape your point A to your point B, and really guide some of us to really achieve our aspirations and our dreams. And then an element in our portfolio or in our platform will be group teaming. Now, group work is always important just to be able to have that forum for you to bounce ideas in group work and group projects. Now, local tutors, and this is also important because sometimes we just want to be able to gain access to somebody who's locally present within the community, and that could be sometimes just being more accessible and being more helpful to people who are accessing our website or our platform. Now, last but not least, industry panel and network. And I think I'll be sharing a little bit more about it later, but essentially we really want to bring together industry experts, global leaders, change makers into the same forum to just have a discussion around topics that are very relevant to us. And as I'll share a bit later on, and I hope you'll be as excited as I am to hear about the content and the topics that we're going to cover, which I will share just in a few slides time, so just hang in there. So I would like to give you a bit of an idea of how we got inspired, right? So really, if you're familiar with these two organizations or these two names, one is Coursera and one is IKEA. Now, Coursera, as you will know, is a platform that allows you access, a lot of us, access to university kind of quality modules online and in very bite-sized modules or training courses. Now, IKEA, on the other hand, will be to provide a quality furniture, a great design at very affordable prices. And if you put these two together, as essentially that's our inspiration. We want to be able to provide bite-sized information, courses, training online at extremely affordable prices. So the marriage of these two, of course, is the inspiration to what we want to deliver in terms of content. Now, how do you want to bring it to you? Again, we are inspired, right? And I probably won't do a survey, but I can imagine when I ask the question, hands up during this period of time where we're in quarantine, how many of you have been spending a lot more time, probably a disproportionate amount of time on Netflix and YouTube? Just give me one moment. That was my morning voice.
Really spending way too much time.
I know. So many of us, right, including myself, really guilty, right? Spending a lot more time on Netflix and YouTube. Hopefully, you're consuming more content that's really helping you to, further your development or your interest in the hobby. But it's okay if you're purely watching it for entertainment. Now, you'll be familiar with Netflix. Netflix is amazing, right? But they're amazing because they curate amazing content for us. So we can say when we go on Netflix, we're going to watch, somebody is saying they only watch documentaries. Well, good on you. I was watching Umbrella Academy last night. Anyway, back to Netflix. So Netflix is great because it provides a lot of great content and they're very well curated. So what we really like about Netflix is that great content, well curated. Now, what about YouTube? YouTube allows the freedom of expression, the freedom of content creation. Many content creators go onto YouTube to post their content. So basically, when we look at these two and we bring them together, Future Skills 101 will be a marriage of both. We are providing a platform where we allow content creation and we invite you to come to create your content as well. At the same time, we'll provide that perspective of curation so that we bring content that is of quality to the people who need it the most. And, we're just kind of starting out. So Future Skills 101, today, is our launch. And we look at this analogy and the story of David versus Goliath. And I'm sure we've all heard of it. If not, most of us have heard of it. And you will know, David was the small shepherd that eventually won the battle against a huge giant Goliath. And it's often used as a story to tell us that, hey, when it's not always size that matters, but it's the heart that matters. So today I want to tell you that Future Skills 101, we are starting small, we are taking baby steps, but we come with big hearts. And I know all the members on our team come with big hearts and we have big dreams for Future Skills 101. And this is where we also invite you to partake, to come and join us in our journey. And later on, we have a Q&A session and we really like to hear how you would like to see Future Skills 101 and how you would like to give inputs to us to make it better. So again, just really quickly, Future Skills 101, our product offerings will be online classes. We're going to have panels where we invite industry experts to join us. And we'll also be providing tutoring or coaching online as well. And just to give you a bit of teaser, just to give you what to expect, we've got really interesting stuff in the works. So a good example will be a makeup class with Vogue cover girl and entrepreneur, Serena Essid, who's looking absolutely gorgeous. We have guest professors from APU, Ritsumeikan University in Japan, University of Hawaii, Michigan State University, Singapore Management University, for example. And somebody I think I saw from Pacific Asian Affairs Council came online as well, right? I noticed that at the beginning.
Yeah, Jason is here. Hi, Jason.
Jason, right? Oh, hello, Jason. Hello. And offering the youth leadership classes in collaboration. So I think it's great, right? I think we're already in the pipeline. We've got great people coming on our platform to provide a varying and a whole gamut of content. So we're really excited, and it's just to give you a teaser of what to expect. And as I mentioned earlier, we are really excited to bring this, especially. Oh, Jason, by the way, says Erica is here too. Okay, hi, Erica. Yes, so as I was saying, we are really excited to bring panels and discussions to you. And these forums are going to be, I believe forums are going to be life-changing because this is going to be a confluence of thoughts and opinions. This is when we really bring people who has the material and the guts to say something about a topic, and we come together and discuss. And I think we're going to really benefit greatly from discussions. So our first inaugural panel is going to be, the topic is the future of advocacy, media and social justice. Is going to be on the 21st of August. So mark that on the calendar. Feel free to join us. And of course, the timing, it depends on which part of the world you're in. It will be there. And of course, we will be giving more detail on the panel in upcoming days. So I believe, and Loretta was telling me that we have some, if not all, of our panelists over here. So if you're here today with us, maybe you can switch on the camera and say hi to us, right? I know Jose is here. Jose, President of Conflict Resolution Alliance USA. Hello, Jose.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Hello. Hi, good to see you.
Yeah, you too.
And we have Erica as well. And let me make sure I get this right. Erica Nakanishi-Stennis, Study Tour Director of Pacific Asian Affairs Council USA. I think I saw her online as well. Hello, good morning.
Hello, my kaku.
Oh, hi. Hi there. Hello. Good to see you. We have Namgi Zam, Executive Director of Journalists Association from Japan. I wonder if she's here with us today. Yep, not here. All right, moving on. A very dear friend of mine as well, Sai, director of Julie's and founder of Best of You Malaysia. Sai, if you are online, just wave to us and say hi.
No, not yet. I think not awake.
Not here? Okay. Yeah, it is 9:45 a.m. in Singapore. So, okay. And last but not least, as I mentioned earlier, Serena, founder and executive director of Mint Management Singapore. And if you're here, to say hi to us as well. No? Yeah, no worries. So, okay, again, a teaser of more panels to come. So the next one we have is on the future of big business, and it's happening on the 4th of September. And this, we're really excited to bring a group is coming together. So we have a Minister of Education in Bhutan. We have the country chair, Shell, Philippines, President CEO of Zurich, Switzerland, and President CEO of Food Services, and the Food Bank Singapore joining us. So this is, I think it's almost like a think tank. You know, just a great minds coming together, and I'm personally excited as I read out their titles, because I know I'm going to get great thoughts from these great, amazing organizations. Okay, moving on. The next one, and also in store for you, the future of knowledge, enterprise, and globalism, and it's going to happen on the 18th of September, and again, or 19th of September, depending on the time zone. Here again, we have great speakers with us, Honorary Consul of Finland, Bhutan, Professor Emeritus, George Washington and University, USA. We have got the Executive VP from SMRT, Singapore, Head of Knowledge Management, PNA, Grant Thornton, the Philippines, and Business Consultant and Coach in the UK. So we've got great people with us, and again, we invite you to, again, mark it on the calendar and join us on that day, September 18 or 19, depending on the time zone. Yep. And yes, of course, and on a new series, which is going to come on probably later on in the year, why can't we get along? And this is something very close to my heart. This is going to be a panel on diversity and inclusion. And you know, we're going to address the whole topic and the whole issue of D&I. Why is D&I important in the workplace? Why is it important to discuss about diversity and inclusion? And how can we, you know, create a safe space and help create a safe space wherever you are in your workplace or in your environment, in your community, and how is diversity and inclusion important where you are right now. So we'll be touching on that. Yeah. So I'm going to leave you with two quotes. So the first quote is from Nelson Mandela. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. And another quote from Albert Einstein. Education is what remains after one has forgotten what one has learned in school. And I believe that's exactly what Future Skills 101 is going to do. We're going to make sure that we provide and support the education that you need after you leave school. So with that, I'm going to over to Eunice.
Thanks, Jimmy. As an educator is the belief that you cannot just simply give and that walk, but if you walk with somebody else. And this is at this point would like to call upon our faculty members who are joining us this morning to do their share and to join us in Future Skills, share your expertise in a short virtual lecture, give a workshop or any other online teaching format. Help us spread the word to your co-workers, your teachers, your researcher assistants, local tutors, and be one and join our team. Maybe consider hosting a panel or an online event that will benefit our communities. I'd like to give this to Amelia, who can help us a lot in doing work on social enterprises as she's been doing now in Indonesia. Help us out. Provide resources to help make Future Skills 101 viable as a sustainable grassroots and social enterprise. Be one with us. Everyone may not be a graduate of education, but we are all educators at heart. If we want to and we would like to spread what is good that this world needs, every one of us can be an educator.
Yes. That'd be great. Hello.
Loretta? Yeah.
I just need to unmute myself. Okay, I love it how, you know, Dean Eunice is really a professor at heart. She just like volunteers her coworkers and her peers online already. So Amelia, you're part of the team. Love
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you. But I think Dean Eunice makes a great point that I think in our Future Skills platform, we're not here to compete with Harvard's or Coursera's. We're really not. I think what we want to do is to offer life skills. So even if you have never taught, but you feel like I have a skill that I really want to share, please share it with us, share your gifts with us, because I think that in this community that we're in, that we get to reinvent. We get to invent the notion of what education is. So we're not going to compete with Harvard. We're not competing with MIT. We're not going to compete with UH. We're just saying that we're community-led and we just want to offer these free classes. If you have a skill that you want to share, or if you're already a faculty and you have classes that you wish to try out, or a new module that you wish to share that you have not tested, work with our team. We want to start curating and getting creative. So this is the place to start before you take it to Coursera or take it to Fruition in UH or wherever you are in the world. Or if you've always had a skill that you want to share, but just too shy to teach in person, you know, this is the place, because we really want to offer it to communities of need. So please partner with us. Please think about sponsoring a virtual class to our communities of need. Also share with us names of participating organizations that you think, oh, you know, I have this school that I think that they may require a hula class, like, you know, and then we will go find and curate and matchmake and call our friends and say, hey, you know, do you want to offer a free hula class online? And I think even as we empower the community, we're also empowering ourselves to recognize that we could share our talents during this difficult times with someone else online and just reach out and touch their lives as well. Think about co-branding with us as well, because one thing to note is that we're not a nonprofit, because we didn't want to fight with already heavily congested nonprofit space, because we know that there's some other nonprofits who really need a lot more money than we do. So we didn't even register as a nonprofit. We registered as a social enterprise, which means that all your gifts and talents that you can share with us and co-brand and cross-market with us. Spread the word to your friends, your staff, your business networks, your community. I already said this, but please join us as an instructor. Ron, I'm talking to you, right? Ron has always wanted to teach, but he's always too shy. I'm like, come on, right? Like, just try. You never know how you touch someone else's life just by being genuine and honest and just showing that you really care, because people appreciate it. I mean, I'll say sometimes in Singapore, we're pretty darn spoiled. Like, if it's not like Harvard or MIT, then maybe I don't want it. But in communities of need, they're so appreciative. Like, if you just share your gifts, and this is just a great place to start. And this is what this is all about. Also considering sponsoring a panel and helping us put this together. Right now, we are all putting in our own money. We all work day jobs. I'm a full-time cat mom and I work a couple of day jobs, but we're all just putting this together from our own pockets. So consider sponsoring a panel. It doesn't cost a lot. I mean, it's online, right? So it's just a cost of just maintaining our site, putting things together, right? And we'll work with you to make that happen. Or let us know who you want us to work with. Like, you want to sponsor an organization, you want to sponsor this child sex traffic halfway home, and say, can you create classes for them? So these are things that we want to work with you, customize, and bring some of our most altruistic, like-minded people and create those classes. And finally, please give us feedback. Tell us how we can improve. We are Davids of the world, David and Goliath, and tell us how we can improve, because we're starting and we're sharing when we're really small. We're not sharing with you when we're Facebook or Google. We're sharing with you just as we're about like setting up shop, because we want all of you to come in together with us. And finally, but don't go just yet, because we're going to open for Q&A. That's the most important part. And then, so please hang on. Innovating for profit is easy. And I don't mean it to be in a facetious way. I just mean it like, when you are innovating because you know that it feeds your bottom line, there's a huge motivation because you see tangible rewards. In all my years at advocacy, I will tell you that innovating not for profit is bloody hard. But I've never stopped, because I've always said that, you know, I'm a crazy rich Asian. Not rich like rich, but crazy rich in spirit Asian. And no one can take that away from you. You can lose your millions, but you can't lose your sense of spirit. So join us. Innovating not for profit, for social good is really a challenge. And please join us, help us, because we truly believe in a common purpose and going beyond individual good. And so this is where I would like you to ask us questions, because if you don't ask us questions, we will ask you questions because we want to pick on your brains. We want you to share with us resources, tell us where we can do better, tell us, you know, share with us. Amelia, yes.
Let me unmute myself first. Hi, I'm
Hi.
Amelia from International Business School in Jakarta, Indonesia. And I'm really glad, Eunice, for inviting us here. I'm with Dr. Wiwi, also the Director of Research and Community Engagement of International Business School. And I mean, this is such a good idea because we are doing this community engagement already. And we would love to put the future skills as our core branding. And then what we need is just something like a written MOU that we are in this together. Like it's already something that we're doing continuously because these are our bottom line, right, Bu Wiwi? Hello, Bu Wiwi. Hello,
Yes,
can
hello.
you
Good
unmute
morning,
yourself?
everybody.
Good
Yes, I
morning.
agree with you. Totally agree with you.
Thank you, Dr.
Yeah.
and Amelia.
Yeah.
So
Thank you
how
so
do
much,
we
Amelia.
get
Thank you so much. Sorry, go ahead.
Yes.
You're welcome.
So how do we get this piece of formality, this MOU? This will just make things very great. Just we can just even start from now.
You heard it all, people. You heard it all. I'm recording this, people. We have witnesses in the house. Yeah, yeah. We see all the hands raised. Yeah, good. Dean Eunice, go ahead.
Maybe say hi, Mike Gallego. He'll be joining our panel next time. He's from Grant Thornton, partner for advisory. Hi, Mike. Are you still there?
Hi, Eunice. Good morning. Good morning, Loretta. Good morning, everyone. Glad to be part
Good morning.
Morning from the Philippines.
So he'll be joining us for September. He saw his name already up there on the...
I was surprised. My name is up there, so thank you, Eunice.
Another one who's joining us, but whose name I wasn't able to include, is Georgie Aguila. She's also here in this audience. Hi, Georgie. Say hi. She's big on talent development. Are you still Georgie?
Hi, good morning. I'm sorry I can't show you my video. I'm still half asleep. As you know, I work in the evening, but I am very, very much excited and on board on this project. Hi to everyone. I'm from Manila, by the way.
Thanks, Georgie.
So, ma'am, Amelia, I think thank you for just making our day and our week, and you know, it's just been a hard work for the last couple of months. So we'll definitely be in touch. You can't run away anymore. You're recorded, and you know, other people have seen you now. So we'll make sure let's work through that MOU together and try and craft something for our communities, and let's see how we can benefit your community and also how we can learn from you and make this better. Okay, let's do this together. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Already, Loretta, Dr. Eric Paskin has wrote that he'll probably help us write some modules. Hi, Eric. Say hi. Dr. Paskin.
Hi, morning.
Good morning, Dr. Peskin. Good morning. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I'll give my support.
Oh man, you guys are making me cry. That's why I never ever wear mascara, so I cry all the time. Thank you so much. Thank you. This is heartfelt. Thank you. Thank you. Any other questions? And anyone else? Any more pledges of love and devotion? Any other questions?
Oh.
Yes.
Ron?
Anyone else? Yeah.
Tune in from Australia, who might be a partner soon as well. Vivian. Say hi, Vivian Sarmiento.
Hi. Hi, Vivian. Oh, Lindsay's
Hi,
here too.
hi. Congratulations to all of you. I can't show my face. I'm sorry.
Why can't people show their face in the morning? She's tuning in from Australia, by the way.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. And you look great wherever you are, just so you know. Yeah. And thank you for joining us. It means a lot to me. Beulah, who has also just left the room because she had to go to work, but she said that she's definitely going to pledge her time, and she wants to see how she can help the community. But also, put us in touch too with communities that that right now they have a dearth of programs, or there's going to be there are huge funding cuts, or just volunteers like us are not going over and holding summer programs. If you know of organizations that need help, because we recognize that there's such a huge community out there that just wants to do something, they don't know how. So this is just that platform to just get us all going together to create that. So yeah, let us know, put us in touch, drop us an email. Any other questions at all? Anyone else? Yeah?
Question, Loretta.
Yes, sure. I can't see because I'm
It's
on
Jason.
Hi. Jason. Hey, Jason. Hi. Hi,
Hi.
Jason.
I'm in Hawaii, by the way. I also work for the Pacific and Asian Affairs Council. Really happy to be here. You touched on it earlier, but I was just wondering your target audience is, especially as you begin this new journey, if you're looking for any specific content that targets certain levels, whether it be school or undergraduate or just a general adult. I'm just kind of curious if you have any guidance on that.
Yeah, great question. The reason why we put it really broadly, those are our eventual plan and our vision. But right now, because of our limitations, because when we started, we were just 5, and all 5 of us have passion for higher education, as well as the LGBTQ population. We just first, what we did was we downloaded populations that we've already been working with: women, youth, LGBTQIA, lifelong learners, as well as higher education demographics, both on the professional side, because Dean Eunice herself is an educator and she works with higher education professionals. I work with higher education professionals and love working with youth, as you know, when I volunteer a lot with women, LGBTQIA, and lifelong learners. So we first downloaded our demographics, and we thought that what we could do is start by focusing on youths. That means the demographic that we've been working with at PAC, right, as well as higher education professionals, only because we immediately have those resources. However, when we decided to go live with this, we decided that we wanted to also put it out there to ask all our potential collaborators to come share with us your gifts. And then what we will do is at the back end, try and find organizations who will require this help, because it's really going to be a continuous series of matchmaking and putting people together. But for starters, definitely youths and higher education. And because some of the programs that we're looking at, because they're not academic, they're like grit, resilience, leadership. And if we find an organization that says, yeah, actually our lifelong learners would really like to learn more about grit, they were like, yes, then we could even customize that program. I think the wonderful thing is because we're really small, we're like David's, we can customize it and get the right people on board, and we'll brainstorm together, customize it to fit that demographic as well. But I hope I answered your question, but it's definitely work in progress, and we are rethinking, refining our processes as we go along. Yeah, did that answer your, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
And all your questions are helping us refine our processes, because we are like babies. We're taking baby steps. So all your inputs really help like build our foundation, and as we get clearer and clearer as we trudge along with all your help. Yes, sorry, I heard. Yes.
Hi, Liz. Hi.
Hi. It's midnight now. Hi, Liz.
Hi, it's late. I'm in Cape Elizabeth, Maine, and I just wanted to share with everybody. And hi, Eunice. I haven't seen you for ages. It's nice to see you too, and to meet all of you, all the others here. This is a wonderful launch. I wanted to also share that I'm very happy that the University of Southern Maine will be part of this, my training and development class, and with doing just what you're talking about, a needs assessment, and having so many students, graduate students, who are going to be able to practice and deliver, many of whom are very experienced trainers with youth and others from so many places in the world that really need and would benefit from the education that that you all and I am so honored to be able to contribute to. So
Thank you. Thank you, Professor FUTURESKILLS. Liz is a dear friend of mine, but she was one of the first to come on board and say, I'm going to get my graduate students or who are doing a leadership organization. I'm going to
every
get them
year.
Every year. So we're going to have
every year, every spring.
Yeah.
Yep. Every spring you've got them. You've got me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so
when
much.
Did you say, one more question.
Yes, sure. One more. Yeah, go ahead.
When did you say, I missed it, when did you say your start date is?
Actually, this is our soft launch because even though we're not fully prepped yet, if you went on our website, you'll still see that we're still in developmental stages. We didn't want to start only when we're Goliath, right? We want to be vulnerable and lean in and start when we're fledgling, so that we have time to build our mainframe and grow as we develop, as we get more instructors on board. So technically we have already started. We also know that because of how small we are, we need to start curating early. So for example, our collaboration will start next summer or next spring. So already right now we can start the discussion. And for example, if we know that there's going to be communities, let's say, Ma'am Amelia says, yes, actually, I would love for your students to work with mine, right? And then we can start those discussions. So really think of us as like a matchmaking agency, putting good people together, because I truly believe that in order for us to bridge those gaps, we truly need to stop just having, and I'll just come out right and say this, that we need to stop having like only branded faculty work with branded students or branded faculty work with branded faculty. I think we need to have this cross-pollination. I mean, I remember that when I first got here, those of you who know me, I mean, you know my background. And so when I came here, I literally had people look at my resume and say, why do you want to teach in Waianae, which is a rough part of town in Hawaii? And I remember telling myself like, well, why not? You know, because I don't think they know my history as well, that while I have this, you know, Ivy League sort of resume, but I've always worked with communities of need. But immediately when you look at my resume, you're like, why do you want to teach in Waianae? And I was really, my heart was thinking, why? But I knew they were concerned about me because they're like, oh, it's really rough, you won't like it there. But I really enjoyed it. I've learned so much from them. And I really think that in order for us to bridge this gap, like educators need to step out. And right now, I'm not even asking you to step out of your comfort zone, literally, right? You get to step out of your comfort zone virtually. So if you're afraid of the drive, you're afraid of getting mugged in a bad neighborhood, I mean, now like you don't even have that fear anymore. And I think that we can start something by allowing cross-pollination, where you get like good faculty. Like maybe your school is not ready to work with like sex traffic workers, right? But I think it's about time that we just said, this is necessary, because otherwise we are perpetuating the same sort of racism, the same sort of classism, the same sort of elitism, because I really do see this. Like the Harvard teachers only want to teach in Harvard, right? The UH teachers only, no, okay, I'll take that back. The Harvard teachers only want to take in Harvard, right? Or the Singapore, I'll say Singapore, you know, the Singapore teachers only want to teach in really shishi schools. Again, I know I'm generalizing, but I really feel like there are enough good people out there that feel that I want to contribute. I just don't know where to start. So I think that's where I really want to just bring people together and say that this is where we can start in small ways. And I think that's all it takes to plant that seed of wanting to serve and cross-pollinating. And we don't know what this dialogue is going to take us to. So thank you for those of you who have volunteered your time. And thank you, Professor FUTURESKILLS, for already volunteering your branded university to work with us. I am touched. Thank you.
And we will all be teaching from the heart.
Yes, that's all I ask. Teach from the heart. That's the best education. The students will know that. They will know that. Sorry, any other thoughts? Otherwise, I want to honor your time and just read you something in closing. Is that okay? Yeah, I just want to honor all your time. Okay. So in closing, I really just wanted to thank everyone for joining us today. And for those of you who wish to remain to discuss ideas, please remain in the Zoom room after our official closing remarks. And also please log on to our website. It's not completely done yet. Remember, we're little teeny Davids. Please log on to our website at FUTURESKILLS101.com, or better yet, please leave us an email so we can stay connected, because this is really what it's all about. Because social distancing is not being socially distant. So as part of our closing, I just wanted to leave you with the words of one of my favorite writers, Arundhati Roy. What is this thing that has happened to us? It is a virus. Yes. In and of itself, it holds no moral brief, but it is definitely more than a virus. Some believe it's God's way of bringing us to our senses. Others say it's a Chinese conspiracy to take over the world. Whatever it is, the coronavirus has made the mighty kneel and brought the world to a halt like nothing could. Our minds are still racing back and forth, longing for a return to normality, trying to stitch our future to our past and refusing to acknowledge the rupture. But the rupture exists. And in the midst of this terrible despair, it offers us a chance to rethink the doomsday machine we've built for ourselves. Because nothing could be worse than a return to normality. Historically, pandemics have forced humans to break with the past and imagine the world anew. And this one is no different, because it is a portal, a gateway between one world and the next. We can choose to walk through it, dragging the carcasses of our prejudice and our hatred, our avarice, our data banks and our dead ideas, our dead rivers and our smoky skies behind us. Or we can walk through it lightly, with little luggage, ready to imagine another world and ready to fight for it. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Thank you all for being here. It is my honor. I'm humbled. Thank you so much. My heart is full. And honestly, we're just thinking, well, maybe we only have 5 people attend. Thank you all for being here. And on behalf of my entire team, thank you so much. Mahalo, xie. Thank you, Gaman. Thank you so much. Yeah. So if you want to stick around and chat and brainstorm, we would love that, because we're really not alone. We're all interconnected, and I think we all have gifts to bring that we want to share. So if you want to stick around and chat some more, please do. Otherwise, please have a wonderful day. Take care. Stay safe. Bye-bye.
Salamat and mabuhay.
Thank you and mabuhay.
Mabuhay. Mabuhay. Oh, now I can see everyone's faces. Hi, everybody. Oh, it's so nice to see all of you. Jeez, wow.
Let's take a group picture.
Wow. Oh, yeah, let's
group
definitely
picture.
do that.
Let's take a group
Definitely.
picture, yes.
Definitely, let's do that. Let's do that.
A video of everyone.
Who's taking it?
Yay, send me all these photos. I couldn't see all of you when I was presenting. Thank you, everybody. Lindsay, it's so good to see you from Canada. Hello.
So good to see you. It's 10:15 at night here.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Thank you. Thank you. Lindsay and I went to school together, so it's so nice to see all of you. And thank you for sticking around. Geez, because usually in some Zoom rooms, it's like Zoom, we're all zooming out of here. So thank you. Well, I feel the love, guys. I'm feeling it. Jeez, this is full on for me.
Great. It's great. I just in this session, just thinking of ideas as far as empowering
Lindsay, I'm losing a little bit of connection. You want to just turn off the video for a bit?
Employers hire for diversity. Some ideas that I'd love to share separately.
Sorry,
yeah,
can you say that all
there.
again, my dear? We
Yep.
lost for a
Is
bit.
it better?
Yeah, much better.
better.
Say that all again. Yeah, sorry, dear. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm just sort of no, this is great. This is great, especially like, I'm sort of thinking of some ideas as it relates to diversity and inclusion and empowering youth and also employers on ways to hire and accommodate. So, I'd love to share some ideas maybe offline.
Definitely, let's do that. I think that, you know, together, I mean, if these youths have showed us anything, I said we can create change, man. I mean, these youths can get together and like stop a rally with their TikToks, or they can, you know, like we grown-ups can jolly well be inspired and do something. You know, we need to make that change in our own little Zoom rooms, right? Through these little squares, we can connect and we can make things happen. I mean, bit by bit, little steps, little steps. That's all it takes. I truly believe in it. You know, that we push a little agenda, maybe not today, and we'll push it again and again. I mean, people find it really hard to say no to me because I just keep bugging them. You know, so I just butt the F out of them.
Social responsibility. Elsa, say hi. Maybe St. Paul University will be joining us soon.
And again, you know, we'll probably, you know, make mistakes along the way, but we definitely want to build an inclusive community. You know, I really think this is what it's all about. It's going to be messy, you know, maybe like, oh, you know, but that's what it's all about. Get good people, and we really help the people who really need it, the ones who can't even get onto Zoom. I mean, the next vision for me is to think, how do I even get those devices into their hands? Because right now they may have to like team together to you know, share a device, right? So baby steps, I think we can pull our resources together and make change in communities. Yeah.
Loretta, can I also ask?
Yes, please. That's Eric.
Is there room for things like building working groups for people who are on the ground to share ideas and work together? Part of the thing I'm thinking is that, you know, the work that I do at PAC is very much based on this premise that people in the first world don't need to go anywhere to save people elsewhere. Like, people have their own places where they are best suited to work. And we illuminate that often by showing work on our study tours that people in the Philippines are doing, and that work that people in Vietnam are doing. So I really kind of was thinking, it could be a really, like, obviously we want to help people who are underserved, but at the same time, having opportunities for people from those communities to share about what they are doing as a way of saying, you don't need to save us. Like, we got this. Here's what we need your support with. I think that could be really empowering.
Yes.
Love it. So yeah, make sure to take down email addresses. This is what it's all about. Exchange email addresses, right? And then get onto your own working groups. I mean, that's really what it's all about. So yeah, yeah. So that's I love that idea, Erica. Anyone else? Yeah, you guys on board with that? Anyone from Philippines on board? Because I know a lot of faculty deans and all that here. Yeah.
In Bohol is here, Mr. Balite. So we can do something in Bohol for those communities.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I mean, Airbnbs, you know, in the dumps now. We'll create our own Airbnb from here, our own virtual Airbnb, yeah, and then help communities of need. Yeah, it could show us your wonderful ocean at the back, and then you'll show us your wonderful plantation at the back. We'll see how we're working in our community. That's awesome. That's a great idea, Erica. Yeah. So let us know what you need, because I can put you in touch with Dean Eunice, and Dean Eunice has probably a great network of Filipino educators. I think a lot of them are actually online right now. We can literally start that conversation. Yeah. It's a wonderful, great idea. Love it. Anyone else? Any other thoughts at all? Lindsay, sorry, you were saying something and then the connection was a little funky.
Nasa seminar kami.
My connection's kind of off. My connection's kind of dropping. Unfortunate.
Yeah, that's okay. You're in Canada. You're the envy of most Americans now, so you're good. Yeah. Any other thoughts at all? I mean, you guys are all still here. It's like, this is great. Hi, Iopa. Barbara, any thoughts? Hi, Iopa, thank you for being here. Just so, you know, for those of you in Hawaii, Iopa actually runs a 501c3 organization called the Men of Pa'a, and he helps incarcerated men and men who are trying to get started again, and he's been doing his great work in Big Island, and you know, so he's a great resource as well if you want a local change maker. Yeah, bro, Iopa, you just wave and so people know who you are, bro.
Let me see. Hi, how are you doing? How's it going, Loretta?
It's good. My heart is full. I mean, all of you are here. My heart's full. So thank you. Thank you.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. My heart is full too, listening to you. You inspire me, my sister.
Thank you.
A couple things I think that is important right now, especially in this pandemic that we are in too. I think it's about learning how to engage community in this pandemic times. I think is key, and it's important because we cannot have an excuse to stop our work that we do. So we must prevail and figure out ways to adapt to what's going on today. So that's kind of like how I'm feeling these days. Also, too, the other piece is how do I continue to work in this area when things are changing all the time, especially our government issues, our government changing our ways of living here in Hawaii at this time in this pandemic era. So I don't know if people in Philippines, you guys going through this, mabuhay to you guys, but we going through this right now. So it's about really learning how to engage our everyday workings into this pandemic times that we have. So that's what I wanted to share a little bit about with you, Loretta.
Thank you, bro. Any of our friends from Philippines or Indonesia, Amelia, if you're still here, or Singapore, maybe we could hear from how your governments are dealing with this, how your workplaces are dealing with this. Can we just hear from any one of you that might want to share?
John, would you like to share?
Hi, good morning.
Good
yeah. So for here, practically, everyone's getting by, and most of the people that I know are working from home, but that's a big challenge for everyone to cope because we're not really used to going out and connecting with people face to face. So I think having things like these are also are avenues to connect with everyone. Have that brainstorm and have that um uh sort of sanity, if you will, that people would still be able to share insights, to connect with friends, to socialize, and basically to connect with everyone else.
Right on.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Definitely sounds what I'm hearing is that connection is so important. And I think this connection from a global community, even if we just checked in, we just met, just exchange ideas and really realize that we're all in this together. Right. Yeah.
We even have a professional musician in the group, Troy Calixto, who may want to share some musicality and learning in this.
Oh, good morning. Good morning,
Hi.
ma'am. Well, actually, most of the musicians I know are having difficulty during this pandemic. Most of them, because the government has disallowed social gatherings, so there's no gigs, there's no concerts and all, and it's very difficult for them to get by. And also, one of the, I think, the major problems that we can help uh, is misinformation. Information is very crucial in this pandemic, and I think as educators, it is vital for us to engage people to well, I think what's important is that people get to understand which news is correct and which is not, because this misinformation tends to give people maybe a sense of false hope, or um, trying to not being in touch with reality. Um, like sometimes our government is saying that the data is not accurate, that the Philippines is actually doing good. More so like what we heard from the US, that the government is doing good, but then if we see the data, it's not really showing that they are actually doing a great job in dealing with the pandemic. I think people need to be informed, well informed about information and how to get that information, the correct information, so that we can influence them to pressure governments to do a better thing in dealing with this pandemic.
Thank you, Froy.
So, I mean, I think that global misinformation and fake news is just one of the crises of our times. And I just want to take it one step further. And I think that what's even more important than identifying between real news and fake news is to, and I know we're just one small team, but if we as educators can begin to imbue all our students with a sense of critical thinking skills, that's so important. Just the knowledge of not mindlessly taking in every piece of information you see on every social media, every media channel. I think imbuing them with those skills is crucial. Even more so than, is this truth? Or because the pieces keep changing all the time, and we have to admit that us as educators too, in our own little communities, it's really hard for us to be a broadcaster, because we're not a community of broadcast media, although I know we do have broadcast media journalists in here. We're bringing them into the team. But I think would it help if we create like a platform? That's why I want to bring a lot of respected, esteemed individuals in for our panel to create those content, and we'll put it out there as well. That's one. But two, would it help if we created classes on like critical thinking, just to enable people to begin to really understand that not all that you see today is verified news, because there was a time when large institutions had some credibility. What you read in the papers was more or less the credible truth, more or less. There's always been subjectivity all throughout history. History is written by those who are in power. We know that. There's always subjectivity. But I think if we could create little classes or forums or workshops that you can then, give freely to your students, and just reiterate, right, that we need those critical thinking skills, and just and an ability to know how to fact check or know how to critique. I think having those skill sets are really key in the world that we live in today.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Sure, if I responded, it was a very long response to a very insightful thought, Frolian, but hopefully that was useful.
Yes.
Well, thank you all. I mean, do you have any other questions?
Their time with us.
Yeah, any other questions at all? Lindsay will definitely get in touch with you, because I know Lindsay's connection was bad. But yeah, definitely stay connected. If you have any resources, classes, modules you want to try, people you think that we should be reaching out to and working with, please let us know, because I think the dialogue and the conversation is so much more important than just this connection. Like what happens offline is really important. Yeah. Thank you.
Maybe some short courses for frontliners would be good, suggested by one of the people who is with us today, Anna Ninobla, who by the way happens to be my sister, but the HR head for Aegis, for Asia Pacific. Hi, Anna. So she's recommending a skill set short course for frontliners. You know her, right, Loretta?
Sorry, couldn't hear me. Thank you so much. Thank you for that thought. Yeah, that's a really good suggestion. So I'm just checking the time now. It is we are at our 90-minute mark. So I want to honor your time. So if are there any other questions, thoughts, suggestions? Because we can definitely continue this offline as well. I think what happened this week was we sent out the invites really quickly. We didn't actually capture all your email. So if you could somehow go onto our website and drop us an email, because then we can stay connected. Because in the webinars ahead, we'll send you a Google form so that we can capture your emails. We're not going to spam you or anything, we promise. We just wanted your emails so we can stay connected. But I realized that for some of you, we actually don't have your emails because we didn't capture all the data. So if you can just drop us in the group chat, or better yet, drop us an email, that will be great. Yeah, so that we can continue the conversation. Yeah. Otherwise, wow, thank you. I will say this is the first time I've been in a Zoom room where everyone remained in the Zoom room.
Very much for everyone who joined us this morning.
Yeah. So thank you, everybody. I bid you all a great morning. Have a wonderful weekend. I'm going to stick around and chat with my team. But otherwise, thank you all for being here. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Bra Iopa. Thank you, all of you in Philippines, in Canada, and Australia. Gosh, thank you. Thank you, Captain. Thank you, Elsa. Thank you, everybody. So my team and I are still going to be here chatting for a little bit. But thank you so much. And thank you. My heart is full. Thank you. So let's do this, guys. Thank you. Bye. Wow, this is great.
Hi,
It's
everyone.
just wow, everyone's still here. I'm telling you, I've never been in a Zoom room where people stay so long. Hi. Hey there. You look different. Yeah. Hi. You look great though. You look great. You look really, really good. Yeah, how are you doing?
Fine.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Well, sustaining is the hard thing, but that's what we're going to try. You are all going to help us sustain it.
Of
Thank
course.
you. You're all going to help us sustain it. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So let's definitely do this. Yeah. Yeah. Put us in touch with people that you think we should talk to, or communities that you think we should start working with. Yeah.
Okay.
Or even teach a class, Elsa. You're such a good teacher. Yeah.
I have a seminar class this coming September 1.
Yeah, that's what I
So-
also, you can try it out with our audience first, right? Right?
Yes.
Refining your classes, right? Because then you get a live audience. Because that's what Professor Tureski is doing with her leadership students as well. Before she sends them out in the real world to be serving the communities, right? To work with communities of need, to really sort of hone their craft and give and learn first as well. I think that's important. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, again, thank you and congratulations.
Oh, thank you, Elsa. Thank you. You take care. Where are you? It's gorgeous. Oh, it's a backdrop. It's nice. Yeah.
Eunice.
Hi, Elsa.
Hi. Okay, bye.
Bye. Hi, Neil.
Thank
Hi,
you.
David. Yeah. Thank
Ate,
you.
Mr.
Bye.
Vice, thank you very much from Alia.
Oh, that's so nice. I'm gonna stop recording.